My name is Darina Sova, and the topic of my work is Origins and Stages of Establishment Alexander Volodymyrovich Paladin Institute of Biochemistry, NASA, Ukraine. The main aim of this topic is to show stages of establishments Alexander Volodymyrovich Paladin Institute of Biochemistry, NASA, Ukraine, and its role in development of biochemistry as a science in Ukraine. The current interest of chosen topic is the need to study factors that contributed to the rapid development of science, biochemistry, and the Institute in order to use the research information to improve a state of modern science in Ukraine. So during the Soviet times, the research work in Ukraine was widely developed. This happened due to the fact that after a civil war, Soviet authorities were able to pay more attention to scientific researches. So after the separation of scientific research work from the pedagogical one, several scientific research departments were organized. A special role in development of biochemistry was played by scientists of Kharkiv University. First of all, a scientist with worldwide known name, Alexander Yakovlevich Danilevsky, and his numerous students who worked at the Department of Medical Chemistry and Physics. It was founded in 1863 and in 1884 transformed into a completely independent department with the inclusion of the biochemical laboratory. In 1921, at the Kharkiv Agricultural Institute was founded a research department of physiology headed by Professor Alexander Volodymyrovich Paladin. As the department dealt with the subject of chemical physiology and mainly metabolism, in 1923, this department was transformed into research department of biochemistry. And later, due to the important need to study a large number of different biochemical problems, and due to the rapid development of biochemical department, was proposed to transform the department into a research institute in order to expand the possibilities of research in the field of biochemistry. So on 9th November 1925, after the initiative and under the leadership of Alexander Paladin, was formed a Ukrainian Biochemical Institute. However, the building contributed by Kharkiv Medical University in a chemical building for a biochemical institute with time began to be not large enough. The work in the institute covered a wider range of problematics that might be imagined at the beginning. And this situation provoked an urgent need for the institute to expand the building, as only this problem prevented its further development and progress. And therefore, in 1927, the Institute obtained a separate building on the corner of Khartonansky and Tinko Street. In December 1931, the Ukrainian Biochemical Institute was transferred from Kharkiv to Kyiv and incorporated into the Academy of Science of the USSR under the name of Institute of Biochemistry of the Academy of Sciences of the USSR. At first, the staff of the institute worked in the building of different institutions until in 1935, the institute relocated into its own building on Leontovich Street 9, which is still the main building of this institution. And in 1942, the institute was during evacuation in Ufa. And where in Ufa, the researchers synthesized a water-soluble analog of vitamin K, Vicasol, which has helped to stop the bleeding of wounded soldiers. So we can say that during the existence of the Institute faced hard times. But today we can proudly say the creation of Ukrainian Biochemical Institute was an important stage in the development of biochemistry and scientific research in our country. An important role in the establishment of the Institute of Biochemistry was played by a scientist and organizer of science, one of the founders of Ukrainian biochemistry, Alexander Volodymyrovich Paladin. Almost all of his scientific practice is closely related to the Ukrainian Biochemical Institute. And thanks to him, a research department of biochemistry was created, and the work in the department was rebuilt in such a way that students were able to work with the experienced scientists to study the methods of modern experiment. Alexander Vladimirovich directed the efforts of young people to solve non-standard, complex tasks, which in turn made it possible to prepare qualified personnel of researchers in a short time. Alexander always supported his employees. He took care about the research and the initiatives. Although he always trusted employees, he could never tolerate careless in the work or dishonesty. Developing a sense of responsibility to its own work, he tried to teach and respect the work of others, and to understand there are no unimportant details in science. And we can say that the Institute of Biochemistry was a real school of young scientists, as well as it is now. At the beginning of the Institute, the research team was small, the researchers were diverse and successful. They were directed at the development of such a problematic of theory, practice, and dynamic functional biochemistry of the times, as nutritional biochemistry in particular, the biochemistry of hypo and avitaminosis of the body, biochemical statistics and dynamics of the central and peripheral nervous system, biochemistry of muscle activity, biochemistry and functional changes of intracellular, intermediate metabolism, biochemistry of endocrine glands and hormones. Expanded the problematics of the Institute of Biochemistry, increasing the methodological and scientific technical level of the research, led to the transition from organ cell to cell subcellular and to suborganoid, and then later to the molecular level. Today, we can surely say that the contribution of the staff of the Institute of Biochemistry to the medical practice and national agricultural sector of the country in general is extremely significant. In addition to the publication of several hundred monographs, collections of work, textbooks, reviews, scientific articles, encyclopedic and historical references, in the Institute, researchers have received more than 300 copyright certificates and patents for inventions. The Institute proudly stood all the difficulties during its existence, and passed the difficult way from a small team of scientists with the same way of thinking to a powerful research institution. Today, the Institute is developing its scientific and technical base and is a recognized leader in its field in Ukraine. The right approach to the organization of scientific activities, a reasonable encouragement of scientists to actively investigate current problematics, a sense of responsibility to its own work, these are main factors that contributed to the development of science. My work is based on the materials of Alexander Vladimirovich Paladin Memorial Museum, and everyone who wants to get acquainted with the history of biochemistry can visit it.